Hello and welcome back to iTraver's Life Abroad. My name is Mike. If you're new to our channel, my wife Louise and I are a Canadian couple, retired here in Cuenca, Ecuador, and our channel is about retired life abroad, and specifically Ecuador. So, you've chosen to change up your life and live abroad away from everything you once knew. For some, it's liberating, yet for others, it takes time to adapt. Today, we're going to look at some of the typical things that may take some expats longer to adapt and accept, and strategies to manage the unknowns and unfamiliar. So stay tuned. So you've chosen to live abroad in a country where English is not the official language and maybe not spoken by many. Some basics such as greetings and polite etiquette during inquiries and responses, and some common phrases are vital to successfully interact with the people of your host country. It requires some participation on your part and a mindfulness that your tongue isn't universal and that there's no expectation that it should be understood by those of your host country. You may think you're too old to learn a new language, but nobody expects you to be perfect, but they do expect you to at least try. Just like people who immigrate to your home country and who are maybe learning English, they're making the effort and they'll likely expect that of them. A list of basic words, basic course, attending a language exchange group are all first steps, and it's all about taking small manageable steps. We didn't know much more than to say hello, thank you, and where are the washrooms when we first moved to Ecuador. Now we're much more proficient after 3 years of twice weekly 2-hour classes, but we're still working on it. There's no urgency to be fluent in any given amount of time, but the sooner you start, the sooner you'll be able to not rely on translation apps or others to help you. Learning another language has many more benefits than simply to be able to converse with those of your host country. Check out our video of the 12 benefits of learning another language. Ensuring you have healthcare coverage is vital in a new land. We purchased ours even before we left Canada to ensure we'd be fully covered from the moment we set foot in Ecuador. Obviously, nobody plans to become ill or get injured, but life happens. And we've experienced this firsthand, as have many of our friends. When it happens abroad, it often appears to be much worse simply because you may be having to go about everything not only in another language, but in unaccustomed methods and procedures to what you're used to experiencing. Also, if you're alone in your journey, it can bring additional stress in having to deal with a health situation. Developing a network of people you can call upon is prudent. We've had first-hand experience in such a situation in helping other expats. See our video about our Ecuador healthcare experience. When living abroad, you can't make the assumption that legalities are similar to those of your home country. In most cases, they're different, and you should become acquainted with how they differ from your home country. As an example, when we used to travel to Mexico, they follow the Napoleonic Code contrary to common law in mainly Western societies. If involved in an illegal situation, you're guilty until proven otherwise, which may be quite different from your home country. In Ecuador, for instance, the threshold for being legally impaired is 80 milligram percent, like that in North America. However, in addition to a vehicle seizure, you're incarcerated for 5 days. When driving above the posted speed limit, fines start at 1 km per hour above the posted limit. Some legal processes, such as those involving residency visas, can be a nightmare to navigate, and the assistance of a legal facilitator can mitigate some of these stresses. Even the annual practice of renewing a vehicle registration with vehicle inspection can have you pulling out your hair. Now you see why I keep my hair short. Adapting to different foods can be difficult for some. Now, most expats in Ecuador will tell you that they've lost weight since moving here, and it can be said that food is more fresh, void of GMOs, and hasn't the many additives found in foods from other nations. However, for some, it's a challenge to change their diet to other foods, whether it be for allergies and other food sensitivities, or simply because their preferences are narrow. I, for one, am celiac and cannot consume gluten. Luckily, like Mexico, a diet in Ecuador involves a lot of corn or maize, which has no gluten. If you're a vegetarian, well, you're in heaven with the wide assortment of fresh produce here. If you enjoy meat, again, you're in heaven with the wide availability of choices of meats and grills or parrillas. Food handling and sanitary practice may be different from that which you're accustomed to in your own country. Markets with unrefrigerated meats and fish is common. However, supermarkets have meats in refrigerated display shelves. Unpasteurized goat and cow's milk can be purchased in Ecuador if you so wish. However, you'll find pasteurized milk in sealed cartons or plastic bags on supermarket shelves. What you won't find in large variety in Ecuador is prepared foods with ingredient lists and cooking instructions. The frozen food section is a fraction of what you'd find in North America. The selection is therefore limited and costly as they're imported from abroad. Same goes for canned goods. Now, if you enjoy baked goods, well, you're in luck because the French had some influence on Ecuador some centuries ago, and you'll find a wide assortment of baked offerings. Depending where you've chosen to start a new life, the pace of life may be quite different from that of your home country. In Latin American countries, they are known for more family-focused lifestyles and for enjoying the moment. Afternoon siestas are common in Ecuador. This is the time when school children finish for the day as they start at 7 a.m. So you'll note that there's 3 traffic periods in the day: morning, midday, and evenings after 6 p.m. So if you're expecting to shop mid-afternoon, think again because most mom and pop shops close midday for a couple of hours. When shopping, you may have to visit several shops or tiendas to find what you're looking for. On the positive side, many shops compete with one another in the same geographic area. So if you're looking for a car part, there's a section of town where you can walk between shops until you find what you need. Same goes for office supplies, plastic containers, computers, household goods, pharmacies, doctors, etc. It's generally said that you're going to visit 3 places before finding what you need. Note that not all pharmacies are created equal in Ecuador. Some dispense only the basics permitted by their licensing, while others are run by licensed pharmacists and dispense a wide variety of medications. Those within hospitals are best equipped to fulfill prescriptions. Walking to run errands? Well, don't be too hurried, because generally speaking, you'll be passing most Ecuadorians on a sidewalk and there'll be 2 or 3 abreast. In a grocery store cash line, get your phone out and read the news or catch up on your messages because there's no hurry to get people through the till anywhere as fast as in North America. But then again, what's the hurry? Naturally, when you achieve a dream like starting over in a new country, it's all very exciting. You post photos to friends to let them know you're achieving your dream as you experience all that is new in your host country. However, there comes a time when things begin to repeat themselves and it's no longer new but ordinary. Same line to get served at the bank, same disappointment when you have to go to 3 stores to find one item. Confusion and incredulousness when faced with a silly rule or a policy. Did you know that you can't wear a hat or be on your cell phone when you're in a bank in Ecuador? All these things can begin to get on your nerves and then the honeymoon phase is gone. People can feel lonely for different reasons. You may be by yourself and not feel alone, while you can be with a companion and feel misunderstood or unable to feel connected. Missing the familiar can bring about a sense of isolation. Not making meaningful connections can also do it for some. It depends on the person and their particular circumstances. I mentioned earlier about healthcare. However, your physical health may need to adapt as well. Living in the Andes isn't to be taken lightly. Most cities and communities are above 8,000 feet or 2,400 meters. Add to that the lifestyle of walking and not driving to do your errands, walking up hills, climbing stairs, and walking to avoid broken sidewalks or doggy dungs. Well, it all takes a toll on your physical health. And it's to be expected, and it's not a sign of weakness. Your body simply needs time to adapt to elevation. I, for one, developed central sleep apnea related to living here in Cuenca at 8,300 feet or 2,500 meters. See our video to learn more about that. A lower cost of living is nice, but it doesn't solve all your problems. If you're from a country not using the US dollar, then exchange rates fluctuate and can be cause for stress. There's always unexpected costs and fees when moving to a new country. Medical issues arise, emergencies bring unforeseen costs. For instance, my wife Louise fell within the first hour of arriving in Cuenca and detached her bicep. Check out our video about that. We've met so many expats who've lived through similar unforeseen medical issues. We are living at the equator, so there could be some kind of effect on our bodies that make us slip and fall. Who knows? Dealing with banks can be a challenge in a foreign land as well. Here in Ecuador, the concept of a joint bank account doesn't exist, and opening an account requires two personal references by some banks. Some don't allow you to do online banking until such time as you receive your cedula or your government ID. Those who choose to obtain an investor visa have shared stories of banks not notifying them of the upcoming renewals of their investment, and they just roll for another period automatically. So, with all the preceding examples, you can begin to question yourself and wonder if you made a mistake. None of this experience mean moving was wrong. It simply means that you're adapting. It's completely natural and a necessary step in the process of moving to a new country. Stay long enough and passing through the stage just makes you stronger and calmer afterwards. Some adjust more quickly than others. There's no set time to determine when it's over, it's a transition. So, what can you do to adapt to all these different things and ways of living? A routine can be grounding when in a new environment. Whether it be daily, weekly, or monthly, routine brings a sense of normalcy. You can have a routine for meals, exercise, or leisure activities. Meeting up with others, whether in organized or self-planned activities, can provide a sense of stability, bring a sense of belonging, and smoothen your adaptation to your new life abroad. The sooner you create a new normal, the greater the likelihood that you won't miss your old life. As for life in Cuenca, there's a saying among expats that if you're bored, it's nobody's fault but your own, for the variety of activities that you can partake in daily. Creating a comfortable and personal space to call your own can provide a sense of security and familiarity. A place where, despite the daily unknowns and the unfamiliar of a new life, allow you to retreat and to recharge. A place where you not only have your essential belongings, but your keepsakes, photos, or your favorite things. By incorporating things from your past and your present new host country, you're creating a bridge between your old life and your new life. For us, when we decided to rent an unfurnished apartment and to furnish it to our taste, only then did we feel that we had a place to call our own. Be curious and seek to deepen your connection with your new host country. Check out new neighborhoods, cities, rural areas. I was fortunate to find some like-minded friends who enjoyed exploring beyond the city on motorcycle. We've been to remote highlands where only llamas and vultures venture, and to Amazon jungle communities. We've traveled on dirt roads and seen scenery only imagined in dreams. We've seen rural areas where people literally live off the land and get around on foot or by horse, or on once or twice daily intercity buses. Each place has its own charm. We've been able to see how a significant portion of Ecuadorians live outside of the city lights. Getting out of your comfort zone to experience something new is key. Heck, I hadn't even been on a motorcycle in 38 years before moving to Ecuador, so why not push yourself to explore beyond what you see in the city? Both your physical and mental well-being are crucial to adapting to new life abroad. Change is a stressor for most people, so staying active and healthy is a must to counter those stressors. Physical activity boosts your mood and builds stamina to explore new communities and meet new people. Sleep is equally important, so ensure you get adequate and quality amounts. Ecuador's equal part daylight and night provides the benefit of managing your daily hours of light compared to the four distinct seasons of North America and Europe. If you find yourself struggling with feelings of anxiety, depression, or overwhelming homesickness, don't be afraid to seek help. Whether it be with talking with other expats or professional help, either can provide valuable support. Some countries have specific resources for expats and newcomers. Don't be afraid to care for your own mental health to allow you to remain resilient and focused as you adapt to your new life abroad. You'll likely spend much time and resources to make the move abroad, so investing a bit more for your mental health is a good investment to ensure you can fully embrace and enjoy your new life abroad. Adapting to a new life abroad requires flexibility as with life in your home country. Being open and ready to adjust your plans will help you navigate the complexities of your new environment. Things will invariably not unfold as planned. Delays in getting documents, changes in regulations or policies, unforeseen expenses are but a few examples. Embrace these changes positively and as opportunities to learn and share with others. Approaching a situation with curiosity instead of frustration helps to see things differently. As the self-help titled book goes, don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. Adapting to a new life abroad is a journey filled with both excitement and challenges. It is still a process, and it may take a bit longer for some than others. It's not always the glamorous adventure portrayed by others. You could have moments of frustration, homesickness, or feeling like you don't belong. This is normal, and it's pretty much universal no matter where you hail from on this big blue marble. Give yourself time, be patient with yourself. It's a gradual process. Success comes with the small victories, like managing to get from point A to point B without getting lost, ordering a meal, paying your utilities either in person or on a foreign language banking app. And the accumulation of these small victories are signs of adaptation, so that after a period of time, you'll realize just how far you've come and that you now belong. Remember, you only have one life to live, and it's short, so cherish the time you have and enjoy your new chosen life abroad. If you've enjoyed this video or think it's added value, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel as we endeavor to share with you our experiences of living a life abroad in Ecuador. Until next time, hasta luego.